Wait a minute, this isn't the Lemonade Mouth soundtrack part 2. No thank you. What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the debut album by the pop singer-songwriter Hayley Kiyoko. It's called Expectations, and it's been building up hype for a while now. I've been hearing the name, and I had relentless amounts of requests to cover this, so I actually got excited to check it out. I had people telling me like, oh, synthy pop that you're going to enjoy, nice airy feel, a lot of themes of love and lust and everything like that, and obviously I'm driven towards some synth pop. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of the genre, so I had to check it out. And what did I get with Expectations after having relatively high expectations going in? Well, unfortunately, not all that much. Let me start off by saying that I do think that Hayley Kiyoko is talented. I like her voice, and I think that she's adding something different to the world of pop and the pop market in general. I like that she's very palatable and that she's able to put herself out there, be who she truly is, own her sexuality, and represent for the queer community. She's able to normalize it in a lot of these songs, and to put something like that out there, I think can be scary in a way, especially when you have a lot of label executives that are a little bit more set in their ways and old school and not understanding of, a girl wanting to be with all of these other girls in music videos and that sort of thing. But she was able to push past that, and I really admire her for that. Now, on this record, I will say that it is more single heavy, and I find myself enjoying those tracks much more because they have an airy, bouncy quality to them. In fact, some of these tracks remind me of like some of the big hits that you've heard in recent years. In fact, one of the singles that was released, track number 3, What I Need with Kehlani, reminds me a lot of the production of DJ Mustard, just not nearly as generic. This is one of the moments that shines the brightest because I really like Kehlani's voice. If you listen to her album Sweet Sexy Savage last year, then you know that she's able to hold it down for an album and I think for a feature, and they're able to play off of each other. It's not just like, oh, Hayley singing the verses, the choruses, and then Kehlani comes in for the bridge or something like that. They're literally trading back and forth, and this is a track about getting played by some girl that doesn't exactly know what she wants, and that's a recurring theme here. In fact, Hayley said that several of these tracks are connected in that way. And I have to praise this track just because the production is really nice. I like the synthesizers and the driving force behind them, and even the bass work on that track, but also the two vocal performers here. They just sound like aces. This record, Expectations' biggest flaw is the fact that it is far too one-noted. I feel similarities between so many of these songs, and unfortunately, I don't think that Hayley's voice has truly come to fruition, at least not on some of these tracks, as it feels a little bit more limited, and you can sense that in some of her live performances as well. Not to knock her talent whatsoever, because that's not what I'm here to do. I think that she's just still growing and finding herself as a vocalist, and as a result, and with some of the production being a little bit too samey, and I don't know, some of these tracks blending together in my mind, I just don't know about the replay factor here. Many of these, as I continued to listen to the album, they might have stood out at first, but as I listened to the album more and more, I found myself really having a hard time differentiating some of these tracks, and I found myself kind of nodding off on some of the longer moments, especially like the two-part tracks that came in the middle. I like the ideas behind the songs like Mercy, Gatekeeper, where she talks about her concussion and really dealing with depression and everything like that. I like the subject matter. It's just that the song and the music surrounding it, it's not able to truly bring it to life, in my opinion. Another reason why I feel really let down by this project is the fact that it starts off on such a strong foot. We get Expectations and Overture, and that's something that has this big build to it, and I'm like, yes, okay, here we go, we're getting fired up, and then that goes into Feelings, which is easily the best song on this LP. This one is supercharged with energy, a great funky bass groove, I would say, on this one. You're able to kind of sway with the music, and it's so much fun, and it's obviously a track about those feelings that are flying around, circulating, and you don't know exactly what to do with them, but you know that you want to act on that sensuality that's floating in the air. You can almost taste it and grab it. And on this track, she does such a commanding job of her vocal performance, and also the production is very commendable as well. We obviously start off on those strong notes, and then we go into What I Need, which I've already talked about being another one of my favorites, but then we get to Sleepover, which feels a little bit more generic. I get the idea behind this song, and I understand that it's going to be relatable for a lot of people, especially for a lot of girls who are struggling with their own identity or feeling like they're weird for whatever reason when they shouldn't. It's something where she opens up about the fact that she really has feelings for this friend that only sees her as a friend, but obviously she wants something more. But the track just doesn't have a ton of grit to it. There's not that much there, and I'm not finding much to latch onto despite how much I've tried. There's nothing wrong with exploring similar territories lyrically, but I just can't help but feel like some of these other tracks are a bit recycled and redundant. I look to Curious, which is one that is ever catchy once again, and the melody definitely does stick with you, but the question is, does it differentiate itself from its peers? And I personally find the answer to be no. As I listen to this album more and more, especially the second half, I see these themes popping up once again, and obviously a lot of them have to do with being maybe friend-zoned or trying to figure out exactly what's going on with herself and another girl, and you find yourself just stuck with her. You feel like the music has hit the peak, and you never really get over the roller coaster. You know, you get to the top, and then it doesn't drop back down, and you don't get that rush like you're expecting to. There are some nicer, more delicate moments to be found in the two-parter Under the Blue and Take Me In, although once again that one runs over 5 minutes, and I do feel like it overstays its welcome. And then we have XX, which is a nice little instrumental tune that kind of navigates you into the next one, Wanna Be Missed, which is perfectly okay once again, but I do feel like it's a bit safe. And I'm not saying that this album overall is safe by any means, because still, even in 2018, I don't feel like the lyrical content and everything like that is still necessarily safe to some. But I think overall, the music and the lyrical content is what gets limited. And I find all of my problems really surfacing on one track in particular, and that one really just annoys me with the vocal melody and just the production in general. That one goes on for 5 minutes as well, and it's called Palm Dreams. This one, holy shit, the chorus just drives me insane. I don't like that. Start. Fortunately, right after that, we do get a big splash of sunshine because we have a winner on our hands with Molecules. I like the airy opening, almost kind of a dreamy vibe to it, and the acoustic guitars are really nice. A nice drum pattern that kicks off throughout, and I like the raw instrumentation that's actually used, the real instruments, I should say. And it's not that this one isn't polished by any means. It still comes across very poppy, and perhaps at times, you know, leans into that synth pop once again that most of this album does. But I think what differentiates this cut is that it feels like a very honest look and slice into her life, and that is what I need more of. On this record overall, despite having high expectations because I had so many people recommending it to me, I can't say that I'm huge on this record whatsoever. There's good tracks, and then there's even great tracks like Feelings, Molecules, and even the track with Kehlani that I'm really enjoying. But overall, I do feel like this one gets a bit sluggish. I would be very curious to know what you guys think. Obviously, I know a lot of you like it, but obviously this is my take on it, so I hope you enjoyed seeing me finally review the album. As far as my rating for this goes, I'm gonna have to give this a strong 2.5 out of 5. Can't give it any more than that because I've debated with it and I've listened to this record a good deal of times. It's been a couple of weeks since it came out and I've kind of listened to it casually, and that's genuinely how I'm feeling. I still have high hopes for her though. I think that she could definitely cross over to the mainstream, just maybe needs a few more stronger songs to really hold out a 48-minute record because I don't really feel like it held it down here. But again, that's my take. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please drop a like on this video. I finally did it. Thank you guys for requesting and making your voices heard. And if you are new here, make sure you stick around for more opinions, more videos, everything like that. Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell as well. If you're able to support what I do on this channel on Patreon on a monthly basis, that would be greatly appreciated. It helps videos like this keep coming on this channel and beyond ARTV. It's the top link or else the annotation in the corner. If you want to see another pop review, you can tap right over here or tap right over here for another recent video I made on the channel, my top 15 Paramore songs. All of my socials can be found in the description, and I'll see you soon on ARTV.